Hey, what's up my spooky family? It's me, TaySpooky, and today I wanted to make a video about my personal ghost stories because they're all tied. But I'm gonna do all of these videos and I'm going to upload 2 of them this week. So I'm thinking my personal ghost stories, and then I'll probably do my psychic predictions, and then in another week I'll do Goatman's Bridge Part 2 and Ouija board experiences, because those 2 videos kind of go hand in hand because the Ouija board experience is at Goatman's Bridge. I have, speaking of, I got my ghost socks on. I have a entire life full of ghost experiences. They don't happen all the time. They kind of happen sporadically throughout the years, but my first experience, I do not remember. I was told, oh, probably like 2 years old, and I was very, very close with my great-grandfather. He died before I could even remember him, and we went to his house one day after he had died, and I think I went in like his room or something, just a secluded room, and everyone else was in one room. And I went in there and it was an empty room, there's nothing in there, and I am sitting there looking up, talking to someone, giggling, laughing, like he's tickling me, and my mom comes in and she's like, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, "It's Grandpa Jim. Like, he's tickling me, he's right here." And you know, he wasn't there. My mom didn't like that. She was like, "Oh, I'm not going to get her." But my grandma, which it would be her father, thought it was really sweet and nice, and you know, she liked it. She is actually the one who told me about it, her and my mom, and I just think that's like a really funny story to start with, you know, your kids seeing dead people. But I believe he is now a spirit guide of mine, and I believe that because I did a meditation session where you write or draw while you meditate, and I kept getting a J, and I was specifically trying to figure out who my spirit guides were, and I kept getting J, 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 and I didn't know what that meant. That was like maybe over a year ago, and this year I found out that my great-grandfather's name was Jim, and I think he's my spirit guide. I've always felt that way. Even though I never even knew his name, I kind of just forgot. But I've just like, I always felt like he was near me, and I don't even know this person. I knew him as a child, but then I grew up and I don't know him anymore. So I think for me to feel like that about someone I barely know means something. So that's the first experience, and that's where it all started. I started remembering them when we moved to this house in a whole nother area. At this house is where I got my cat Sparta, and the rooms there were huge. This house was freaking huge. My room and then my brother's room, it's like a Jack and Jill. We had a bathroom in the middle. In my room, when Sparta was in there, he hated being in my room, and he loves me, like he's my cat, I'm his person, we have that relationship, but he hated being in that room. When he was in there, he would like kind of look up at the ceiling and fluff up, you know how they do the fluff up and his tail gets all fluffy, and he would like not regular meow, but like distress meow kind of thing, like while looking at something. He did not like it, and he would get really mad. He did not want to be in my room, but just my room, and not all the time, just occasionally. And so he never wanted to be in that room, and he like fought to get out of the room all the time. Like he would come in, and then after a little bit something would happen and he would want to leave. And then this same room is the room where, and I was a Christian at the time, and I'm not like, you do what you want to do, I'm pagan now, but at the time I was Christian. I was probably like 12 or something. I'm very bad at guessing time frames, but I was probably around 12, and I was Christian, and I went to church, and I had this poster on my wall. It was a styrofoam poster, so it was like this thick on the top, and it was hung by like paper clips stabbed through it, put on tacks on the wall. Like my bed was against the wall in the corner, and I had it like right on the wall by my bed. And there was no ceiling fans in this room. In the rooms in the upstairs at this house, there were no ceiling fans, just that one weird light that kind of looks like a boob. And I'm doing my homework, sitting on my bed, nothing's going on, just chilling. And on this poster, I have a bunch of like little random miscellaneous things lined up on it. Just stuff lined up on the top of it. And I'm sitting there doing my homework and I remember it plain as day. All of a sudden, it kind of goes like someone hit it upward and it went flying across my bed. Like, it didn't fall. It flew across my room. It went across my bed to the other side of the room. And let me remind you, these rooms are freaking huge. Like, flew across my bed. Like, someone hit it upward. Like, it didn't just like fly off the wall. Like, someone went like that and hit it across the room. Like, everything fell off and it landed. At the time, I literally looked at it, picked it up, put it back up, and I said, I don't have time for this shit. And I put it back up. I must have been like way stressed with middle school, but I don't remember feeling scared. I just remember feeling irritated. I can't justify it. Like, there was nothing, because I've had people say, well, did someone hit the side of your house? No one's doing anything over there. So someone was like, you sure they didn't just hit the wall? And I'm like, if they hit the wall hard enough to rebound my thing, not just off the wall, but across the room, that's gotta be a pretty hard freaking hit. I think that's the only thing I remember happening there. And we move again. We moved to this house, and at this house is where things kind of started getting like something was trying to possess me. I was still Christian, and I remember I had a Bible, never read it. I remember it very vividly, which is really weird because I am the worst at remembering things. Laying in bed the wrong way, like not even laying on my bed the right way, which is weird because when I went to bed, I was facing the right way. So I went to bed normal, and I remember I was in a nightmare, so I wasn't awake yet, and I was in a nightmare, and I remember reading a text on my phone, which it doesn't sound scary when I say it out loud, but it was very scary while it was happening in my dream, so just bear with me. I read a text and I was like, who is this? Like, I was texting them, I said, who is this? And it replied, Satan. And my heart dropped. I was so scared. And I remember I threw my phone across the room. That's all I remember in the dream. And then I remember waking up, and I was laying in my bed, right? And I was turned completely around. So my head was facing where my feet was facing. I was laying the opposite side of my bed. And it was kind of like a sleep paralysis type of thing where you're awake and you know what's going on, but you can't move. I just heard a lot of children's laughter in my ears. I think you can rationalize it all you want. I'm definitely not opposed to like sleeping disorders and stuff. I just have never had it happen to me before that, and it never happened again after that in the hearing aspect. So to me, it felt very real, and I think it was real being the spiritual person I am. I think it was real, but you're definitely to make your own conclusions and think what you want to think, because I'm not here to force anything on anyone. I was laying down and I was kind of in a sleep paralysis state, and I remember hearing children, like a lot of children's laughter in my ears, and getting these really sharp shooting sensations throughout my entire body with like goosebumps, and like it felt like something was trying to overcome me. I then had fallen back asleep, and in that dream I remember my Bible was in this drawer, and I'm getting goosebumps telling it now. I remember I fell back asleep. In this second dream, I don't really know what happened. I just remember I was terrified of my Bible. I woke up that day, and for I want to say like 3 months after, I was terrified of the Bible in my drawer. I avoided it. I didn't even look at it. I was scared. That night I was told I was speaking to Satan, and then I was somehow conditioned to be terrified of the Bible, and I heard the laughter and the sharp sensations coming throughout my body. I think whatever it was wasn't successful because I feel like I'm very spiritually solid. I am very good at like, no, not being scared, like standing my ground and saying, you're not allowed to be here, you must leave, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. You know, I feel like I'm very good about that. I just went up to go get my drink and I walked. So I have my studio room and then I got my bedroom. And my bedroom's right next to my room, and I was walking by and I saw a figure standing over there in the hallway, and there's no one here right now. My brother left, so there's that. And then we moved to the next house. And at the next house, it was a pretty normal house, like nothing happened, but all of a sudden, I keep hearing things out there. I started getting really weird sleep behavior. I think it was in a 3-week span, like once a week it would happen. Lived in this house for about 3 years, so like the first year nothing happened, and then the second year I started having these sleep disorders. The first time it happened, it was really scary. The first time it happened, I jumped up. I just jumped up and stood up in my bed. I don't know what happened. I just stood up so fast. And I was standing there because I knew what I was doing when I did it. I don't feel like I had control of when I was doing it. So like I did it and then I was like, what is going on? That was the first time, and I just laid down, went back to sleep. The second time, I jumped up and bolted to the bathroom, and I ran to the bathroom, and I remember for some reason being fixated on the thought that I need to go get to that mirror right now. So I bolted to the bathroom, and I'm getting goosebumps telling the story. And I ran and I was looking in the mirror like so intensely. So I remember looking in the mirror, like I turned the light on and everything, and I was looking and I was like, what am I doing? Like I didn't have to go pee or anything. I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I just really needed to look in the mirror, and I don't know what it was. Went back to bed. The third time, and I think this is like 1 week apart. The third time it happened, I jumped up, and this is a second story room, and I bolted to my window, and I got to my window, and I just had this thought, I was like, I need to jump out of the window. And I don't remember, I'm like getting really intense goosebumps right now, guys. Let me see if I could kind of show you. You can't really see, but I'm like getting intense goosebumps telling the story because it was so weird. And it was also when like my spirituality started awakening, like I started really understanding what I wanted to believe and what I wanted to do. I jumped up and I bolted to my window, and I just remember thinking, I need to jump out of this window. I need to jump out of this window. And I got to the window. I was like getting ready to open it, and I came to. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I trying to jump out of the window? Why did I have to look in the mirror? The first time I just jumped up, I don't even know what I needed to do that time. I just felt like I needed to get away. So I was having like intense night terrors, I assume. I don't remember the dreams. I don't remember anything. I just remember waking up, heart beating so fast and like sweating, and like I needed to get somewhere now. I have not since then like slept walk or gotten up and did anything like that. I've never done it. It only happened 3-week time span. I didn't know how to explain that until I figured out what sleep paralysis and night terrors was. So then I became aware with, I definitely have night terrors. I don't know, it hasn't happened since then, and that was over 5 years ago. That was probably like 6 years ago or something. After that, in the same house, after the night terrors, this is whack. This is gonna really blow your mind. I had this bed. It's actually just like the bed right here that I am sitting next to. And this bed is very close to the ground. I'll just show you. This bed sits very low to the ground, and it has a frame on it, and the mattress sits in it, so you can still like set stuff on the frame. And next to my bed I had a nightstand, and I don't have the nightstand anymore, but the nightstand was like a regular nightstand, and then on the bottom they had like that shelf that was close to the ground. This all happened in one morning. So what was the first thing? The first thing that happened was I had a bunch of crap in my nightstand. I had a radio in there. It was like a big chunky radio and then like 2 big huge speakers in there and then like a whole bunch of CDs, and like it was like not organized at all. And so the CDs were in the very back, and I had this Pop Goes Punk CD. It was very not in reach if I'm laying in bed just like grabbing stuff. Like it was buried. So I wake up and that was sitting on the side of my bed, on the frame part, and it was just sitting there, and I didn't think about it, so I just put it back, went back to sleep. Because one thing I do a lot in the morning times is I'll wake up, go back to sleep, wake up, go back to sleep. I wake up about every hour. So I woke up, it was probably around 8 or something, and it was there. I put it back, went back to sleep, and then an hour later I woke up and my cat's full to the rim water bowl was sitting on the side of my bed. Nothing spilled. As far as I could tell, nothing was spilled. It was still full to the rim. Like, the bowl's bigger than the side, so it was like balancing on there, and his water bowl was in my room. So I put it back. I definitely thought it was weird, and I was like, something's definitely trying to get my attention. I put it back and I went back to sleep. Don't ask me how I went back to sleep, but I did it. Wake up an hour later. This one blows my mind. Let me tell you. I woke up and this big pot. I have a ton of plants. I had this huge pot. I don't have it anymore because I don't know what happened, but I threw it away. So I had this pot and it was like this big. It had those little side compartments where you can plant things in the side. And it was really old, and I don't know where it came from. I remember I found it somewhere. Garage sale maybe? I don't know. I found it and I loved it a lot because I had little strawberries planted on it and vines, and it was so freaking cute. And then I planted a really big, with the really thick spines, ball looking cactus in the top. And then on the sides were these little baby aloes I grew from my other aloe. And I planted, there were 4 of them, 4 little baby aloes. And these aloes were so freaking delicate. If you barely touched them, they would like fall out because they weren't completely rooted, and my cat was always ripping them out, and I had to put them back in, so they were very, very, very delicate and would easily fall out. Let me tell you, when I woke up this 3rd time, guys, to that pot sitting on the side of my bed, I went back to sleep. The pot was there. None of the aloes were moved. All the aloes were in there perfectly happy. The cactus, like, let's just say if someone sleeping would have tried to pick that up, they would have either messed up an aloe or stabbed themselves with the cactus, and it was very heavy. It was just sitting on the side of the bed balancing. I put it back and went back to sleep. I don't know why. I think when I woke up that afternoon, I texted people about it, but that kind of thing has not happened in a very long time. It only happened that time. Like I said, things happen like every couple of years for me. They don't happen like continuously. And then here we are at my house now. Nothing happened the first year we were here. Nothing ever happens the first year we're in a house. But this is why I am convinced that like a dark negative energy is following me, and I don't think it's the houses at all. I don't think it's the locations, because I feel like it's followed me my entire life maybe. We actually named him Scrim because I know you're not supposed to do that. I know you're not supposed to everyone knows about him. He needed a name that for when we talked about him. His name is Scrim. How funny, the moment that I mentioned him, my camera said, "You're done." He quit my recording, bitch. Here we are at my current house, and a lot has not happened here, but one time I was brushing my teeth, and so in this house, like the hall where I just said I saw a figure standing. So this is my studio room, and then like a room next to me is my bedroom, and then the room on the other side is the bathroom. So I was in there brushing my teeth with the door open, and then like down the hall is my brother's room and the stairs to go downstairs. And I was brushing my teeth, the door was open, just sitting there brushing my teeth, and no one was home. I was the only one home, and I hear something run up the stairs, like very clearly 2 legs running up the stairs, like sprinting, not just like, you know, someone jogging up the, like bolting up the stairs into the hallway, like they were stomping down the hall. And it ended before it got to the bathroom. And I remember, this might be how I cope, but I said, it's probably the dog. There's no way. No way it was the dog. First of all, it sounded heavier than me. Like stomping its feet, sprinting. I told myself it was the dog, and then, you know, clearly later on I was like, that wasn't the dog. And I always try to find rationality in things. I don't ignore spirit guide messages. I'm very, very open to like numerology and like coincidence happening. Like I'm very open to spirit guide messages, but when something paranormal happens like that, I think I try to rationalize it before I jump to ghost. So that is the latest thing that has happened, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my scary stories. Usually when people tell scary stories, happenings start back up, so I guess I'll let you know if something happens after telling the story and uploading the video. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed my videos, please give me a subscribe. We're at 132, guys. 132. That's not a lot to you, maybe, but I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Like 132 people care about what I have to say. 132 people want to be a part of my spooky family, and that makes my heart so freaking incredibly happy. Thank you guys so much. Please like my video if you like my paranormal videos, or leave a comment if you want to give any suggestions on a video, like a haunted location. If you have any questions, I want to do a Q&A, so I need to get some questions built up for that. I hope you guys have a really nice night. Good night. Don't let the demons bite, and that's it. I hope you guys like my outfit. Look, it's a bodysuit and these shorts I got at Earthbound. I can't. I'm about to fall off my chair. Yes. 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 I love this outfit. It's so cute. Oh, bodysuits are like my new favorite thing because they're so easy to wear. Oh, I love it. I'll show you where I saw the figure. So you come out. This is the game room, my brother's room, and the stairs. So this is the room we just came from. This is the bathroom, and then this is my bedroom, and that's my baby, other baby. So what happened was I walked out and this light was off. I saw something right here as I was going across my room, and I was like, huh, yeet.